All right. In this video, I'm going to be talking about favor. Favor in any organization that you are a part of. You don't want to miss this. We're going to go super uber deep in this one, and hopefully this will make sense. I don't want to be weird or whatever, but I'm trying to channel whatever it is that's out there. If it's God speaking to me, if it's the Holy Spirit, if it's wisdom, if it's just genuine common sense, I hope to be able to tap into that and express myself fully and freely to you so that you can understand what favor is, what true favor is. So to give a little bit of a background of my definition of favor, if you were to look at it as something tangible, I would say favor is like a river. It's like a stream. It weaves in and out of society throughout the world. It just comes and goes like ebbs and flows, comes and goes. And when it comes in, you have to be able to latch onto it and capture it and use it to the utmost potential. So that's how I look at favor. Favor comes and goes. So how can you make sure that favor is always in your corner? So that's what we're going to talk about in this video. So I am a little bit religious, if you will. If we were to use an example out of the Bible with Joseph, Joseph used to have dreams. They used to make fun of him and call him, here comes that dreamer. So he's got another dream for us. And he had like 11 brothers and they hated him. They're like, man, this guy, I'm tired of his dreams. I'm tired of his stories. So then Joseph would show up, young lad, pretty jacket his dad made. And he'd begin to tell him, hey, guess what, guys? All of you guys are one day going to bow down to me. In fact, even mom and dad are going to bow down to me. That doesn't go over very well, especially when all the brothers are out working the fields, working with the sheep and all that kind of stuff. That doesn't go over well. If you don't believe me, go up to your older brother and say things like that. Hey, dude, I think you should actually serve me. I think I should be your boss. See how far you get. So what did they do? They ended up throwing him into a well. They ripped up his clothes, shared his clothes with his father, and said that he was killed by a beast. On the outside, you would look at that and go, that does not seem favor. Like if Joseph was chosen by God to do all these wonderful things, that does not look like favor. It doesn't. So he's in a well and they wanted to kill him. And then one of his brothers, this is where favor comes in, one brother said, you know what? We shouldn't do this thing. We shouldn't do this wicked thing. We should instead sell him to the Ishmaelites, and then maybe we can get something for him. We'll just tell our dad that he died. This is where favor comes in. All 12 of them could have said no. One person said, let's not do this evil thing. Let's not do this. So then Joseph gets sold to the Ishmaelites. The Ishmaelites go off to Egypt and sell Joseph to Potiphar, which was one of the servants of Pharaoh. And he immediately found favor with Potiphar. Potiphar looked at this guy and said, you know what? This guy has some kind of wisdom here. I'm going to put him in charge of all my servants and all this kind of stuff. And he's going to be in charge, and I'm going to go away. And as I leave, I'm going to be making more cash. I'm going to make more money, all this kind of stuff. So he left. That's what favor does. They can trust you. A little while later, Potiphar's wife gets a little bit of an eye on this guy and it's like, man, this is a handsome dude. You know what? Maybe I'd like to have a little bit of sex with this guy every once in a while. He is my servant. Maybe I want to go sleep with this guy. Approaches Joseph. Joseph's like, hey, you know what? Your husband has placed everything under my command except you. You are his wife. I can't do this. I can't do this to you. Sin against him and sin against my God. So I'm not going to do it. Got to the point where daily Daily, she was bugging this dude, bugging him daily. Come on, come and sleep with me. Nobody's watching. Let's go have sex. Nobody's watching. Come on, let's do this. I'll do whatever you want. Daily. Got to the point where one time he was either in her bedroom or near her bedroom or whatever, and she grabbed his robe and said, come sleep with me right now. Can you imagine that? He took off, ran away, butt naked, ran away. And when she held the robe in her hand, she screamed bloody murder. Her servants came and she said, this guy tried to rape me. Rape. Not he tried to make love to me and he was flirting with me. This guy tried to seduce and rape me. So she cried all day. And when her husband came home, she said, look what you did. You tried to embarrass me by hiring this Hebrew slave. And look what he did. I even have his cloak right here. He tried to rape me, the guy that you hired. Potiphar, I think, can't prove this, but I think knew Joseph's character, but because of his wife's complaint, off to prison he went. So he went to prison. I'll try and make this story short, but this is important. Favor. It's important to know how to get favor. Maybe I'll make this another video. Joseph goes to prison. Immediately, when you look at it again from the outside perspective, this does not look like favor. This looks like this sucks. Joseph, you should just kill yourself. Quit. Go pick a fight with one of the biggest prisoners there and get your ass beat on so that you die a miserable death. You're in prison. Your brothers don't want anything to do with you. They sold you and things are pretty crappy right now. But the Lord had favor on Joseph, and the person that he was under saw that this guy had favor with God and went, you know what? There's something different about this guy, something special. I'm going to put him in charge of all the prisoners here and all this stuff. And you think that's the end of the story, that he just maxed out in prison. He's the best in prison. Have you ever felt like that? You're in a job and you're like, I'm not sure what I should be doing, but this is my ceiling right now. Let me tell you, there is no such thing as a ceiling. There's no such thing as a ceiling, period. One day, a couple of gentlemen get punished by Pharaoh himself for whatever reason. There was a cupbearer, maybe he screwed up. There was a cook, maybe he screwed up on, the order. Maybe he didn't put a straw in the bag, whatever it is. Didn't add the cheese to the cheeseburger. I don't know what it was, but for some reason, the Pharaoh got PO'd and sent them to prison. So these guys are tossing and turning and bugging Joseph because he's trying to have a good night's sleep. He's in charge of everything. They're tossing and turning. And then the next day he's like, hey, what's going on? And they're like, well, I had a bad dream. Cupbearer had a bad dream. Cook had a bad dream. And they're like, we don't know what this means. So then Joseph says, you know what? Let me pray about it. Tell me your dream. God is the only one that can interpret a dream. So these guys share the dream, and Joseph's like, well, your dream means this. It's kind of basically, you had favor with Pharaoh, now you don't. And on this day, you're going to get your head cut off. Okay, you're going to get hung, whatever, dead. Bad news for you. Tell me your story. Okay, yep, okay, sounds pretty good. Actually, you're going to be restored. Remember when you were in front of Pharaoh serving him, you were the cupbearer. Basically, the cupbearer is the guy that's in charge of drinking the wine. If it gets poisoned, he's the guy that drinks it before he gives it to the Pharaoh. So he sips it and all this. So Pharaoh trusts this guy quite a bit. So he said, you're going to be, your head is going to be restored. You're basically going to be back to your old position. The guy's like, great. And he says, yeah, if this comes true to you guys, just remember me when you go to Pharaoh. Just remember I interpreted this dream. So the cook happens to him, gets killed. Cupbearer goes back to Pharaoh, and the guy forgot about Joseph. Have you ever had that happen, where you're promised a position or something and it doesn't happen? And you think, nobody's watching, nobody cares about you, all this kind of stuff. There is no favor in this universe. It doesn't work. The world is against you, whatever it is. But a short while later, Pharaoh begins to have dreams. And in his dream, he starts tossing and turning and all this kind of stuff and not eating, whatever. And his cupbearer is like, what's going on? And Pharaoh's like, I just had a bad dream. And none of these idiots here can interpret it for me. All of a sudden, the cupbearers, that's too bad. I can't help you out, Pharaoh. It's too bad. Yeah, I wish I knew of somebody that could interpret dreams for you. I honestly, I wish I knew just one person, man. I know I would be promoted and I would be so. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Come to think of it, there was one guy that actually helped me get this job, and I made a promise to him that I would remember him. You know what his name is? It's Joseph. So Pharaoh calls Joseph. Joseph goes to Pharaoh and says, I will interpret your dream. Pharaoh had 7 years of good fortune. Crops were just crazy, yielding so much. And then 7 years of famine. And Joseph said, this is what's going to happen. You're going to have 7 years of good, plenty. You're going to have 7 years of famine. In my humble opinion, this is what I think you should do. You should pick somebody that's smart, somebody that knows what they're doing, and you should get them to organize the grain and take a third from everybody, or take a fifth from everybody, so that you don't run out of food. Do this over a period of 7 years, and that will take you through the next 7. God has spoken. He wants to save Egypt. Remember, Pharaoh has nothing to do with God, period. But because of Joseph, God had favor on Egypt and gave him a plan. And Pharaoh said, you know what? There's nobody else that can do this. Joseph, you're in charge. And he took off his ring, gave it to Joseph, and said, there is nobody more powerful in this kingdom except me, and you're the first in line. So whatever you say to anyone will go. You are in total charge of all of Egypt. How's that for favor? Pretty good story, right? So where am I going with this? I'm going with this. I'm basically telling you that if you live your life in the right direction every single day, favor will take care of itself. You're going to be put into a position where you're going to have favor. You're going to have people that are rooting for you and cheering for you and talking good about you, saying, I don't know what it is about that guy, but we need him on our team. We need him. There's something that he has inside. Maybe we could teach him. Maybe we can train him. There's something in there. There's something. That's what you want. You want that favor. So favor comes and goes like the river, like I mentioned. As fast as it comes in, it could go out like a tide. If you think that you can do stuff under the covers, under the closeness, like of the darkness, if you think you can go in the shadows and dark places and watch porn and nobody knows, I don't know why I'm talking about pornography, but if you're watching it, I'm telling you, you need to stop. Stop watching pornography. Stop watching all these images on Instagram and all this stuff that are distracting you from your assignment, because it could be a job. Maybe it's something that you need to be doing right now, and you're distracted because you're going down a different bunny trail. Maybe you're thinking about sleeping with someone that you shouldn't be, being someplace that you shouldn't be. I don't know. This could be for somebody out there. Who knows? But favor, understand, favor comes and goes like a river at the end of the day. And the way to get favor is to live as best as you can each day, giving people the benefit of the doubt, giving people hope and all that kind of stuff, and just making sure you're trying to live the best way that you know how to do. Favor will come. It's just a matter of time. It's going to come. Just got to take your time, do the right thing daily, and it will come. So hopefully, I know it's kind of like, I felt like that's a bit of a message or something like I don't mean to be preachy or anything like that, but I think this will probably speak to at least one person out there that you're like, you know what, I feel like I don't have favor. I don't have any favor right now. So if that's you, then feel free to comment, subscribe, like, all this kind of stuff. Let me know as well, because I'm telling you, you do have favor. You just may not be able to see it right now. It's not showing itself to you just yet, but it's just around the corner any second. There you go. That's my video for today. Thanks a lot. I'll see you in another one. Bye for now.